15 minutes for him to do his drugs test, etc. I want a couple of words for the WBC Featherweight World Champion. I thought a great performance tonight from Skye Nicolson. Trainer Eddie Lamb as well. Open to the floor. Questions?
Skye, you've got two. Sorry. Colin Green, IFL TV. Skye, you've got two mandatories called, but one of the ones in the UK is Raven Chapman. You've got all these people calling you out. Who do you want next?
I don't care who's next. I think there's some really great fights there. I love the fights. I'm glad I'm being hunted now. I don't have to go looking for the fights. They're coming to me. Whoever's next, can't wait. Let's go.
Just for me on that, Colm, I think that we've already planned to fight Raven Chapman. I have no problem fighting Tiara Brown as well, by the way. I think they're two really good fights, but all of our conversations with Queensbury have been around the Raven Chapman fight, so I think those guys have got to kind of sort it out themselves as to who is next, and we're happy to fight either of them. Yeah.
Over here, you put on a more of an offensive performance today. I don't know if you noticed, but Philly is known for being very harsh as it comes to sports fans. Very critical fan base here. You did get a lot of cheers from the crowd. Talk to me about the experience of fighting in Philly and getting this win here tonight.
It was amazing. The atmosphere was amazing. I felt the crowd's presence. I felt the fans get behind me. And I was happy to put on a show. I feel like I'm showing little glimpses each time, a little bit more. And yeah, I showed out tonight for the fans, and I had fun in there.
James Bell over here with the Boxing Source. Looked like you were real comfortable in the ring after about round 3 or 4. Did you feel like you were kind of like gauging the distance there in those first couple of rounds, and then after that you just pretty much like tried to school her?
Yeah, that was the game plan. All of her stoppages had come in the first 3 rounds. So we knew she was going to be dangerous in the early rounds, and it was all about sticking behind the jab, gauging the distance and having a look at her. I feel like we stuck to the game plan perfectly tonight. And yeah, I think it worked well.
Skye, Kevin Garcia with Fight Hype here. I know you just said a couple moments ago, you know, you didn't really care who was next, you would take on whoever, but in your division at 126 pounds, Amanda Serrano, who's fighting next week, is holding on to 3 of those belts. How interested are you in seeing Amanda Serrano in the ring in the near future?
I've been chasing that fight for a while now. People talk about the back and forth. I wouldn't call it back and forth because we're not getting much back. I don't see her fighting at featherweight again in 2024, let alone maybe ever. So I am losing hope in that fight happening, which is unfortunate because I don't want to fight for vacant belts. I want to dethrone champions. I want to secure my legacy, and I want to beat the best to prove that I'm the best. So while it's frustrating, I'm not going to keep chasing something that she's not showing any interest in giving us. So I don't see that fight happening. Obviously, it's the fight everyone in the featherweight division wants. But yeah, I'm kind of bored of chasing it. I think there's great fights to be made in the division without her anyway. So we're just going to focus on that for now and see what happens with both belts.
Thanks, Skye.
Skye, Maurice Jones, Four Corners Boxing here. Great performance, by the way, tonight.
Thank you.
We got to see a little bit of a playful side with you in the ring. You know, you taunting your opponent. Like, at what point during the fight that you knew, like, this girl just wasn't really on your level with, that you didn't have to go in there and be an aggressor and fall into her type of game, but fight your game and what your coach is telling you?
I feel like I know that from round 1. I know that with pretty much everyone I fight. For me, I had fun in there. She was taunting me a little bit, trying to get me upset, I don't know. But I was comfortable throughout the whole fight. I don't think there was 1 second of that fight that I felt uncomfortable or out of control. Yeah, the taunting and the showboating stuff's never from a place of disrespect either. It's just, I'm having fun in there.
Absolutely.
Skye, what went into your ring walk song? How'd you come up with that one?
I wanted a Philly artist. I wanted the crowd to enjoy the walkout as well. I love the trumpets and the intro of that song, which they skipped. So I was a bit bummed about that. It kind of went straight into the chorus, so I missed that bass drop, but we'll work on that for next time.
Hey Skye, Mark Abrams, boxing on 15rounds.com. They talked about your jab earlier here in the press conference, but your left hand kind of around the guard was really working tonight. Talk about that.
Yeah, that's another thing we've really been working on. I've been boxing 16 years and I don't think I threw a left hook until probably the last few months. So that's definitely been a shot we're working on. We're working on it out the back just before going out to the ring. So yeah, I was really happy to get that shot off a few times tonight as well.
This question is for Eddie. Terrell, Fight Week 360. A little bit out of the loop this week with boxing news, forgive me, but there's a rumor going around about Liam Parrow possibly taking on George Kambosos. And could you elaborate on that, and if possibly, would it make sense to have Skye on that card?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, actually, we really wanted Skye to box in Australia for her first defence, but time was short, and they like a big build up there. So Liam Parrow's win over Matthias. He wants that big homecoming, whether that's against Devin Haney, whether that's against the Catchall Prograde winner, or whether that's against George Kambosos, which seems to be a fight that the Australians are excited about. Skye would definitely be co-main event on that slot as well. And, you know, Raven Chapman would be a great fight. Tiara Brown would be a great fight for that slot as well. Obviously, the plan for any champion should be to unify the division, but I would definitely, if we do that card in Australia, Skye will definitely be fighting in Australia, which would be, I think, great for her career, because obviously she's Australian, she's only boxed there once in 11 fights, so it'd be great to return there.
Perfect, thank you.
All right, guys.
Skye,
Last one. Sorry.
Skye, George Hansen, the Pope of Pugilism. You just dominated. It was a wonderful performance, and you know you hit her with everything except the referee. At what point do you? I mean, you're just outclassing people and not getting touched. I mean, you didn't even break a sweat or get touched. At what point do you think you have to go for the knockout? Because people, knockouts sell tickets.
The art of boxing, hit and don't get hit, stay pretty, get paid. I mean, I think the crowd enjoyed the fight tonight. I think the fans enjoyed the fight tonight. I wasn't looking for the knockout, but I was hitting her with clean shots. She was a tough girl. I don't think every opponent would have taken the shots that she took tonight. We knew she was going to be tough. Her only defeat, she was very tough in that fight as well, didn't get stopped. So it depends on the opponent as well, but I had fun in there, staying pretty, keeping my brain cells, getting paid.
All right, guys. Thank you. Well done, Skye.